welcome to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. As you can see tonight, we ain't going to worry about our special guest. We're going to bring the special guests on. We got our main man, Dadrion Taylor, known as B Rabbit, the Carl Albert star, running back now at Texas Tech, playing safety and corner. What's going on, B Rabbit?
Not much, man. I'm glad to be here. I grew up, y'all know we're in a little setup. I grew up in this little setup, so it's just like being at home, man. We're just going to have some fun tonight.
Man, it's good to have you on the show, man. Think about it, man. We're going to get to talk a little bit about, high school, little league, college, what you going to do after college, man. We're going to have our own 30 for 30. Not do we just keep it 100. Shit, keep it 100 is going 30 for 30. What's up, Big E?
Yeah, not much, man. Just chilling. It's almost Christmas time, so we're getting everything ready for Christmas. And, excited to have Dadrion on. I haven't seen him in a long time, so, I thought it'd be a good show.
Man, I'm so excited. I'll tell you this, though, man. Like you said, it's almost Christmas, man. And, yesterday I got a chance to spend, Sunday morning, going to church and seeing my, my mom and, my brother with everything going on. I don't get to see mom as much, but I tell you, man, I'm sitting there and I'm kind of got a tear in the eye. And the choir singing and they're singing the Christmas songs, man. And I tell you, Christmas, everybody get caught up in presents and all that. But, Christmas is more about, the man that, that
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep it 100.
I got it on my hat right now.
Yeah,
Jesus loves you.
And so I tell you, man, to see this young man, to see where he come from, starting with the Little League Bombers, going all the way to becoming, Carl Albert Titan, from, junior high to the high school ranks, and now being at Texas Tech, see this young man do a lot of good things. So, Rabbit, tell us, the folks that don't know about you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Single mom, I stayed with my mom. I stayed with my aunt when I first moved down here to the city. I grew up in Davis, Oklahoma, so moved down here, got connected with Tony, started playing ball, and ever since then, football's been my sport, man. It's been my get out, a little anger, go play football. Every weekend growing up, it was go play football, going out of state. We got the chance to go play a Deion Sanders team one time out in Dallas. It was pretty neat. And then growing up, went to school, like a little feeder school. And Carl Albert, went to the high school, and then I just, played ball, and I blew up, and then I just took my chances to go to the next level and compete. That's what I'm doing right now currently.
That's pretty cool, though, man. Rabbit, you talk about your playing days with the Little Bombers, folks. So I'm going to have to tell these stories because that's what we do. We keep it 100. Yeah. So we're playing, Rabbit comes over, man, and he comes over with Coach Tracy. And, Rondell Walker's one of our kids playing up there in Oklahoma State. What we do with Keep It 100, man, we have kids all over. But I tell you, we're playing. We go play Deion's team, man, and Rabbit's there. And this time, man, we don't know what this kid can play. He's fast. He's fast as hell. That's why his nickname is Rabbit. So we're up there. We're playing Deion's team. And Rabbit's like, Coach Tony. I'm like, what, man, what? He's like, put me in. I said, he said, put me on kickoff team. Put me on kickoff return. I'm like, man, you ain't fair, but you can't catch. I see you in practice. He said, Coach Tony, give me one chance. I said, all right, man, you got one chance. So they kick off to us the second half, man. This is no lie, folks. He takes the opening kickoff, runs it back to the 2. We get the ball. We fumbled on the 2. Next play, he plays defensive end. He ended up sacking the guy in the end zone. We ended up getting a safety. So we beat Deion's team. We played at least 5 times. At least I beat Deion one time. I beat him one time. But we beat him 2-0. But all because of this man right here, taking the opening kickoff. And ever since then, we get back to practice, on Monday afternoon, and my brother said, "There's our tailback." And you got to think in this team that we had a lot of our backfield was loaded. We had Jaden Poole. That's at Emporia State. You had Keyshawn Sykes is playing basketball. You had Rondell Walker.
Yeah, Big Matt.
Yeah, big, Matt. We had Matt. he's up in California, but this team is loaded with athletes, and this guy that did play football just came out and ended up becoming B Rabbit and taking the job over from these guys. But think about it, though, man. He started at a young age, and, good to have him come on this show and keep it 100 and, talk to some of you people out there that don't know, hey, you might be struggling with, hey, am I going to get a chance to go play college ball? And we'll mention some kids, that me and East talked to, like a Kobe Crew, a Brazil. You're looking at some of these kids, are they going to get the chance? Because he can kind of tell you about recruiting. But before we get going to that, though, what else been going on, Big E? I know it's a Monday night, And it ain't snow. Last week we were shooting. It was
Yeah,
what?
we were shooting in the snow.
We
yeah,
shooting in the snow. So
Yeah.
that's how Oklahoma is. We all got, you can't see us,
Yeah.
but we got flip-flops on. You know, we got our Jesus sandals on tonight. So you can't see our feet, but I'm telling you, that's how it is in Oklahoma. One day it's snowing, and the next day it's sunny.
It feels amazing.
Yeah, so before we get going, we're going to keep him on the show. We're not going to kick him off. But before we get going, we're going to talk a little bit about last week's state championship recap of 2A championship. Metro Christian pulls it off, pull it off over Washington. Ended up beating them 48-37. Metro Christian has proved to be the real deal, Big E.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
I mean, you look at that game, man, and they pulled it off. You know, at one point in the game, Metro Christian was kind of, pulling away, but Washington made it a game, making it 48-37. And like I said, Metro Christian's a real deal. I'll tell you right now, man. I mean, they're going to probably be the powerhouse in 2A. And they had a great year. So Congratulations to those guys winning the state championship. I think you still got your Class A and B. But, there's so many teams in that. You guys can look them up in the sports page and find out what's going on with them. But, real quick, though, Big E, what else is going on this Monday, right before Christmas, baby?
Man, I mean, really not much. I went back to work this week. I had to quarantine for a couple weeks, so I'm back at work, back making money. So that's always good, putting some money in my pocket.
Always good.
So, and then, but yeah, this week you got Christmas. I got to help out with my the Christmas Eve service at my church. So I'll be up at my church all day on Christmas Eve helping out with that. So, but today, not much, just chilled around the house. And then came over here, saw the star out there. It'll be gone and over with by the time y'all see this, but the Bethlehem Star is what they're calling it. Jupiter, Saturn lined up, so that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't even realize that Christmas was Friday. I totally forgot about it.
Have you got your gifts done, Rabbit?
Yeah, I got some gifts to get tomorrow. I gotta get my mom some. I gotta get a lot of people some stuff. But yeah, I forgot I looked at my phone and it was the 21st. I said, wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, Christmas is cool. I mean, it's really cool now being a grandpa and having Ivy and, my older kids, you kind of just get them money. But, this year I kind of went above and beyond, I think, for all the kids because, man, I mean, granted, 2020 has been a crazy year, y'all.
Oh,
yeah.
We all know that,
Flew by quick to me.
But it's been so crazy, and I felt like, man, all the kids have been special this year, from my youngest to my oldest, though, being home and getting to hang out with her and, her boyfriend Cam, and then, Ivy, Zaz coming in town, for Christmas, gonna get to spend Christmas with his daughter here at the house, and so I'm excited for Christmas, man. I just tell you, man, it's not all about the gifts, man. It's about the love.
Right.
And I tell you, kind of like the whole deal with Thanksgiving, get to hang out with my family, not getting to see my brothers and mom like we usually do on every Thanksgiving. My mom came over, but I just tell you, man, just getting to hang out with the family, man. You've been home hanging out with your mom, man.
Man, it's been a blessing.
It's a blessing, I'll tell you right there. But I know we're probably everybody's probably tired. They want to hear about Rabbit, what's going on with him and his life and all that, though. But Rabbit, before we dig right in, though, tell us a little bit, when you played for Carl Albert, what was it like? Because you played for who, Coach Rose in Corley, or?
Yeah, so my freshman year, Coach Rose was our coach, but I mean, we had like our own little freshman section, so like I wasn't really too much under him until like mid of the season. I started playing JV, then he started coming to me, talking to me like, hey, like next year, like you're gonna be the guy and stuff like that. So then my sophomore year, we had an amazing team. I'm probably like the smallest dude on the team. Coach Cam put some faith in me, threw me on the field.
Well, who was the running back at that time? You don't mind me asking.
RT. It was me, RT, and like another guy named Jalen Lewis. We always split reps, and like me being the young cat, I was like, man, okay, like every third series I'm going in the game, every third series, and then like I'd be waiting my turn, and it'd be like third quarter. I'm like, okay, like, and then we played our homecoming game. It was our third game of the season against Ardmore. We were in the locker room at halftime, and I was like, hey, they're not even worried about me. So I was like, let me just run up the middle of the field and get a touchdown. And then they threw a pass to me. And then after that, I just started to get the groove on, a little confidence in myself. And then after that, I just took off with it.
Yeah, that's you. You guys won state that year, right?
Yes, that was my sophomore year. We won state.
Against Bishop McGinnis?
Bishop McGinnis, yes.
Yeah, that's when they had Nick and Dominic Johnson. I went to that game. It was kind of cold and chilly on a Friday night. They played that game at UCO, and I remember going to that game. And you ended up getting hurt, right?
Yeah, I got hurt. We came out, and I'm pretty sure they game planned a lot of us. So I didn't play the whole first quarter. We went empty because we had an amazing quarterback, Johnny Mazzille. He could throw it, run the ball. He could do it both. So we came out empty. We had a lot of good receivers, Diego Richards, Jason Taylor, Jaden Poole, guys like that. So we just came out throwing the ball on them, quarterback sneak. And then my first carry in the second quarter, I just just pulled a ligament to my ankle, and then I just cheered him on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the game I saw, I think RT kind of made himself. I mean, he kind of carried the load with Carl Albert the second half. Make sure you edit that. But he carried the load with Carl Albert that second half, man. Playing both sides of the ball. RT was a beast. It was great, like you said. I know you talk about the other running back, but I just remember you and RT being a two-headed monster, man. That kid was on both sides of the ball. Did good things. Like I said, he's up at Southwestern. He went to Southwestern. He's up at Oklahoma State playing, special teams and playing some linebacker. But that just tells you how good Carl Albert is. You just named off a bunch of guys that's playing college ball. From Brazil that's over at UCO playing receiver now to Jaden Poole's up at Emporia State playing corner. In high school and receiver, and he's up at Emporia State playing, corner. Then Diego, Richardson, a guy that kind of played running back in the little league. Junior high school, and he kind of moved over to slot receiver. He's up at UCO. So you're naming all these kids, but one thing I got to ask though, man, and people probably want to know since you've been in the house of Carl Albert since middle school all the way to to high school to getting recruited, why? Carl Albert wins all these gold balls, but why do you only see so many kids? Even with your recruiting path, you went to, you was going to Utah State and you kind of took a U-turn and ended up going to Texas Tech, and you're at Texas Tech playing the defensive side of the ball. He was a heck of a running back, a 1,000-yard rusher each year, numerous of touchdowns. So why is Carl Albert so lacking when it comes to recruiting? Getting kids, like you named a lot of these guys are D1. I think Jaden Poole, his size could have been a D1. Maybe not D1 speed, but a small D1. So why do they lack of getting kids into college?
I feel like Carl Albert to me is more of like a thing about just like the tradition. Like there's been a lot of state titles running around there, earlier in Carl Albert's first establishment as a school. So I feel like it's more like an old school program. Rose was an old school guy, knew a lot of people. I feel like we didn't reach out as much as we should. We won all these championships, but we didn't have a guy on the staff that had these connections and he knew this guy. It was just we produce championships every year. We have athletes, so coaches. So then I feel like coaches just know Carl Albert's good, so they just come there and then at that point it's okay, we have this kid, and then I feel like it's just. And I feel like the way the recruiting worked at the time, I feel like it's different now. I feel like a lot of people are getting into it. A lot of schools are doing things to get better about it. But I think at the time it was just more of an old school. We had Gary Rose. He was more of an old school guy running the school, old school way. And then Coach Corley hopped in. Most of the coaches, not big social media guys. So I feel like that's probably one of the things.
And what you're saying is true because, like I said, Coach Rose is kind of like a. I played for Dick Evans and back in the day at Miller City, and he was kind of old school guy. And those guys, like you said, don't follow the media, social media, Snapchat, Instagram, all that stuff that young guys are on. Guess now the thing is TikTok. I don't know nothing about TikTok. It's the weirdest thing ever, Rabbit Man.
They're not recruiting on TikTok.
I don't know, Rabbit Man. I guess everybody's on TikTok now. I see some of Zoe's TikToks, man, and one time she's here, and next thing I think she's in somebody else's bedroom or their bathroom. I don't know how it works, man. I don't even get into it, but man, I tell you, it's crazy. But but a lot of these coaches are using the social media to recruit kids. Kind of like this year with COVID hitting, a lot of these kids got recruited, but a coach never seen them play. With your talent that you had, and like I said, you took that U-turn going from Utah State to Texas Tech. You was a back, for 3 years, you was a solid back, coming from a program that's won a state championship, that's been there and done a lot of numerous things, but you really didn't have a lot of Power Fives. You got a Power Five from a defensive side of the ball, and you never played defense, which is funny.
Blew my mind.
So who helped you get to that point? Because like you said, you did have a bunch of coaches coming in. I know you look at a lot of these high schools now, and then one of the schools I'm gonna mention, is a school right up the street. It's a small 6A2 where Ethan went to school, Choctaw. They got a lot of coaches on the sidelines that's coming to practice and stuff like that. Did Carl ever have that same kind of stuff?
Not really. We only had one coach on the staff that just showed up. Everybody else is usually in the school somewhere. So it was just most of my teachers were on the football team. So it was I just seen my coaches all day. It wasn't just no one extra. It was really, like enclosed. We were like a family, so it was just like nobody really came in except for our old lineman coach. I think they came in my junior and senior year. He just didn't teach. He just came. He just stayed in the field house, watched film.
Well, no, what I was asking though, like, do you have a lot of coaches like college coaches coming
like,
to
do they come into
Colorado?
practice?
Oh,
Are they coming into practice and watching?
I
you
mean,
guys
only
practice?
when we I can't remember. I feel like I've been out of school forever. I can't remember what time of the year. I think it was like towards the end of the season, like when track was over, we had like that week to practice and pads. I feel like that's when all the coaches come. But like usually we didn't really have coaches. I mean, like I know my senior year I had like my Missouri State came by a lot. Western Illinois came by a couple.
Yeah, because they was really interested.
That's where I was going to commit to until I got the offer from Tech. I was going to keep playing running back, but then I just looked at myself. I was like, I'm gonna trust myself and go this Tech route, get a bigger platform, get my name out there, so I can get out this thing.
So you're at the level now. You've been at Texas Tech for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And so, is it different playing on the defensive side of the ball than playing on the offensive side of the ball? Because I've watched me coaching you at a young age, all the way to at least 12, 13 years old, watching some of the things you've done as a young man. I remember playing against the Titans one time. Andre Johnson here, he'll remember this, man. It's right before, we beat the Titans 3 or 4 times, man, and it's a close game.
Yeah,
it's another kickoff, dude. This guy's running, man. He's in a pack, and next thing you know, he spins out. I don't know how it happened, man. It looked like a little tornado. He spins out, and he takes it, 60 yards for a touchdown. And we ended up winning the game 12-6, But just some of the stuff that you've done as I've got a chance to watch you grow, become the man that you are now. And it's weird seeing you on the defensive side of the field because I'll just tell you right now, we got a quarterback that, you played with J.D. Head. I tell people all the time, I think before J.D. graduates from college that J.D. is going to be up for the Heisman. And I really, truly believe if Rabbit stayed running back, man, he could have done some amazing things for Tech. You're looking at his frame, because we talked about this earlier off the camera. It's like, man, Tony, I don't feel like I'm a good safety, but you're such a good athlete, though. So NFL's going to find you, if you take that path, whatever path you take. But I just think you still got 2 more years. You're still a young man. So, like I said, this year was a free year. So
yeah, I was glad I got to get the defense down. I'm a lot smarter now, so I feel like next year when it counts, when I get my body framed the way I want it to be over this little Christmas break, then next year's gonna be the year for me.
That's it, baby. That's what we want to hear. Keep it 100. It's gonna be his year. Hey, what's that you got on your mind?
How was that transition? You played running back all throughout, your high school. You might, if I'm not mistaken, you may have taken a couple snaps on the defensive side of the ball. Or...
Nah, I only played.
Right.
I've never played defense. I know sometimes at practice we had with the young guys, I'd go out there because once defense came, once it was time for defense to do their little time practice, I was over there with Ben. We were over there playing slap, but we were over there throwing the ball, just sitting there on the beanbags.
I just wasn't sure.
Let them finish the practice, So
because at Carl Hubbard, you got a lot of guys playing both ways. Like the guy that we've been talking about a lot on the show, Kobe Cruz. He plays receiver and he played defense, he played DB. So I just wouldn't know. I didn't know if that was the same situation.
See, I feel like the Colorado team that they have now is a lot bigger. Like they have a lot more seniors. I think we had single digit seniors my senior year. So and my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, the class of 2018, all those guys started defense from freshman. They started freshman year all the way up. So me going through high school, those 2018 guys, they were always the defense. So the next year it was just we had a brand new team. My senior year was a brand new team. We only had a few returning starters, me and Ben, since those guys have been there. So it was just our team was so small. We only had so much at the time to where I couldn't play defense, which I wish I could have. I feel like I would have been a bigger recruit if I had played defense. Now that I play defense now, it's I look at it now I hate offense sometimes. I don't even want to be concerned with it. I do miss the feeling of scoring touchdowns because the AT&T Jones Stadium, it's a different place when somebody scores a touchdown. It goes crazy. Even during the quarantine, we played Baylor, and I feel like that game was just packed the way the fans, come in. It's amazing walking out there and just seeing everything. But playing defense now is just so fun to me. The guys that I play with now, I learn a lot from. It's fun. The DB room, we laugh and joke around with Coach Jones, stuff like that. So, DB is pretty. I wish I would have played in high school, so I'd have got I got the better feel of it, but I feel like where I'm at now, I'm producing. I'm using my athleticism, I'm getting smarter in the film room, on in the fields like that. So I feel like I'm gonna be pretty good when it's set in stone.
So tell me this though, to the guys that that's getting recruited, the 2021 class, 22, and 2023, these young men that's getting recruited, what advice would you give them and tell them, what should they do for their recruiting? How should they get themselves out there more? Because, a lot of times I think you have high school coaches, kind of like you said, on that call-out staff, Coach Rose and Coach Corley was more old school guys, which nothing wrong with that. Some people don't want to mess with social media. I'm not great with social media. I've gotten better, as I play, my wife gets mad. You're always on Twitter, but I get better the more and more I play with it. But, what can you tell those young men? Like you said, you got a Kobe Crew, you got a Luke, Turman, and guys like that, guys from over at Mill City, Dell City, you got a lot of these kids in this metro right here. They are getting recruited, but you see some of these times you see a kid that, that it's really good, but he's not really getting recruited. And I would say, I feel like, like a Ben Harris, a Kobe Crew. I do think Buddy is a D1,
I agree.
Big time D1 prospect. I don't think he's a small deal. I think he's a Power 5 guy. I think I can go play in Alabama, LSU. Big Ten, wherever he wants to go. I think the kid can pick the school he wants to go to. But one of the things I see is that you see Javion Hunt that had 20-some offers, going into his junior year, into his senior, and you see somebody like Buddy don't have no offers. And to me, they're kind of a similar back. Maybe Buddy's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. Why do you think he's not getting the recognition that Javion got?
I feel like I would probably say like for me, like the camp. So I went to a lot of camps. So I would say the answer is not like going to camps. Camps put you out there. For like I had the opportunity. I didn't know much about the recruiting process. So Javion's dad helped me out through the whole recruiting process. Kind of where I'm at today. But like I go to these camps and stuff, and like okay, I'll be doing good, but there's also these 5 stars, 4 stars walking in, and like people, the Twitter want to see these guys at the camps doing what they're doing. So it's kind of like I'm just there, just like okay, someone might look at me, but like when I get there, they're looking at these certain guys walking in, they're videoing stuff like that. So I feel like the way the recruiting is now, I feel like it's a lot easier. I really couldn't answer the question. My buddy has no offers. I feel like he's a good back, stuff like that. I feel like he has potential to go play at a big school, just like Javion. I feel like he has the body frame and he's just a big kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's just a humongous kid. He's always been like that good. He was that good in middle school. His freshman year, nothing's new. He's not showing me anything new, except that he's getting the game down. But I feel like he needs to get a little sharper,
Yeah, we
like
talked about that last week.
He has time to grow. He's going to be a senior. I feel like my senior year, I fully understand the game of football. So I feel like that senior year coming to him, he's used to winning, so the confidence is through the roof. That's the same thing for me. Like, we were winning every single year, so I was going in every year like, okay, like, guys, we can win this game. It's just how much we're going to win by. So that's kind of how I felt with my team because, we were confident going to every game, our game plan, our coaches that we had, stuff like that. So, I really have no clue of how it is. I feel like the recruiting is easier now for this generation since I've graduated. So I'd figure he has something. Also, been at least something, you win, even though it's Oklahoma football, like it's not the Texas, the Florida, the California, places like that, but like it's hard to win anywhere. For you lose 2 games in 4 years, that's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
And you win state all 4 years, you're there, like not many people can say they've done that.
No.
Yeah. And, I was reading something earlier. They said that he goes down as the most decorated quarterback in Oklahoma high school football
just think
history.
about it, like we're scrimmaging. The guy we think is going to start, Carter Valley, like it's one of my best buddies. He's playing baseball right now, Seminole. I think, and me and him had this connection since we were in 7th grade. He comes in, his dad moves him in, he plays quarterback. I played quarterback my 6th grade year, so I was kind of mad he moved in because I thought I was playing quarterback myself.
Right, but you was not no QB. Come on, I'm going to keep it 100.
Quarterback got hurt. Bo got hurt, so me and Boone Linehan tried out. Boone Linehan tried out. I remember that. I was kind of upset that Carter moved in, but me and Carter built this bond. Me and him at quarterback, me at running back built this bond. So my junior year, I thought, okay, like we're gonna go in, and he just unfortunately, like last play of the scrimmage, we're done. We're just out there just trying to see where we can go, playing the Lawton MAC team. Carter breaks his collarbone, and the next week we're back in Lawton playing Lawton High, like a good 6A team. They're contenders, and like we're coming in with a freshman quarterback and not knowing what the season's gonna look like. But he came out there smooth. He didn't even, like the first play, he was just smooth, didn't even flinch the whole game, just acted like a natural,
When you got that much talent around you, baby, it can be smooth like
Yeah, I
that.
know,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? When you got a Jaden Poole, a Rabbit, and Diego, and Jason Taylor, when you got those type of guys around you, man. One thing about Carl Albert, though, man, people always think they're gonna fall off. They only got one school feeding into that high school, but every year they find a way to win. That's the thing about it.
People.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's so good to see what they do over there, though, man. And everybody else around them. Middle City, back in the day used to be a powerhouse, but now you got the Carl Albert, Yellow Jackets trying to come up and do big things, and then you look at them, a team that just really recently started winning. Now, they're starting to get kids that move in and come over there and believe. Yeah. And I think that their staff, Coach Brian and those guys do a good job getting kids' names out there. I think a lot of it is how much work they're going to put in to get your name out there, because I think coaches can get you, they can sell you. It's a car salesman. I'm going to keep it 100. It's a car salesman.
Yeah.
If a coach calls and say, hey, man, what do you think about B. Rabbit? And I say, well, but, and right now, that coach already, he's already thinking like, well, you said, well, but if he calls and says, man, what do you think about it? But Robert's a great running back. He can do this, and this. It's all about the coach selling you. But if a coach is coming in and it says, hey, what do you think about Ethan? And I said, well, but I got this junior, I got this sophomore that's going to be here in the next 2 years, going to be, so now you've already sold that kid out.
Yeah.
And so I think that happens to kids at times, because I think with Kobe Crew, I'm looking at some kids, man, and I'm keeping 100. People can get mad all you want, but this is my show, me and E's show, and I'm saying what I want. But you see some kids that's not as good as as good as Kobe Crew, that's getting offers, 4 or 5 offers, and you're like, I'm scratching my head, because one thing about me, since I've been started doing this show, I look at a lot of more kids and I'm evaluating, because I'm looking sometimes, who's evaluating these kids? Who's saying these kids are D1, D2? I've seen kids get D1 offers, man, may only play 10 snaps in 2 years. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're like, are they recruiting this kid because he's 6'3", 6'4", and he's tall? But when you get to college, everybody's like that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, some kids come in with 50, like we had some guys come in like 30 plus offers, and with like it's just like the same talent. So I really don't know. I really don't know at all.
And so that's why like I told you earlier, when we started keeping 100, our job is to try to get kids' names out there. Like I said, we do talk about those kids and people. I had a guy, one of the dads said, well, you always pumping those 45 and that number 3 up for Carl Albert. Well, you know what? Yeah. I watch kids not get recruited. I watch kids that had a lot of talent, was 3-year starters, had some good games and does good things, not get recruited because, one, did somebody not do their damn job? 2, am I getting this kid behind him, getting him ready, to get him recruited? Because, like you had Utah State was one of your biggest offers, right?
Yeah, that's where I was.
How the hell does that happen?
I feel like, I don't know. Now, I'm not trying to brag on myself, but the way that I was performing with my team, my team made me the best running back I was. I call that my line. I took care of my line. I made sure they were good. They trusted me. Ben trusted me. People around trusted me. So me, like, not being big-headed, but, like, I was on there, like, okay, so this is my team. I'm going to run with it. I'm going to bring my guys with me, stuff like that. So I feel like I did a lot for my school. I made a name for myself. And I feel like size shouldn't have been. A lot of people say my size was small, but I've always played bigger than what I am, just because how physical I am. So I feel like size doesn't matter, because I see guys right now, the same size I was, go there, gain the same weight that I gain, and doing the same things that I think I could have done. But defense is where I'm at now. I'm taking away with it. I'm doing good right now, so I'm not shamed that I didn't play offense in college, which I do miss it sometimes, but defense, I'm having fun with it now. I'm getting better at it. I'm learning more about the game of football, so I can't complain.
And going back to like what Tony was saying, like while we talk about Kobe Cruz and Contrell so much and those guys, I'm gonna just keep it 100 right here. You wouldn't know about those kids if it wasn't for us. That's not me, but seriously, if it wasn't for us, nobody outside of Carl Albert would know a Kobe Cruz, would know a Contrell Bazell, would know a Luke Tarman, so, just getting to that, I don't know. And then also a question I wanted to ask you, your transition from running back to DB, how was that? How did that go down?
At first, man, it was pretty crazy, man. I got the phone call, Coach Patterson wants me to play defense. I was like, all right, man, I agree with the staff up there at Utah State, so I was like, okay, they're taking a chance on me. I can't take this opportunity. It's done good things for me, to help me for my future, stuff like that. But at first I was real stiff, I played running back my whole life. I've never when it was time to play defense, I was sitting down watching them practice. So when I first started working out, I was up in down in Durant with Sean Cooper. He does C4. I was down there with him. He helped me out before I came down to Tech. Shout out to him for his little organization. But I was really stiff. Like I didn't know nothing about defense. I didn't know what a cover 2 was. I just knew man. I just knew the term man and zone. I seen them do this, signal zone. That was man on the sideline. So man, going down there, I mean, we had a couple guys up there that taught me how to backpedal correctly. The coaches that we had last year, they helped me a lot. So like the coaches we got this year helped me out a lot. And then eventually I just grew into it, and now I just had the natural feel for it, and I just go out there and do it.
You got to be in the lab. You got to study. You got to get it done.
You got to, man.
It's kind of like,
you have to.
It's like you said. It's like being, it's like being in the classroom. You got to study.
Right.
I mean, being an athlete that you are. I mean, one thing about this guy, he tried to quit football.
Yeah, I did. My sixth grade year, I tried to quit
he
football.
called me and says, "What did you call me? What did you say?"
I was like, I didn't want to play football.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, Tony is at my house. Like 30 seconds, come get me practice.
So man, you better get your butt in the car. Let's go, boy. Mom calls me, man. Rabbit don't want to play football this year. He gonna try to do baseball and basketball. I said, hell no. He gonna play football. So, boy, you got too much talent. And just think about it though, man. Sometimes you got to give up something because you still stuck on that basketball. You that Kyle Lowry, you still stuck on it. But But I think the basketball helped you because. One, it helped you, with your DB because now you can jump. You can jump with any kid that's 6'2", 6'3", that's taller than you because you're so athletic. You can get up and get with those guys. So all it does kind of play out. The hard work that you put in, man, and I'm just telling you right now, you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to see yourself at the next level because that's the type of guy you are. You're not going to give up. Your mom, has been on you from day one. Hey, be the man that you are. And, one thing about it, You've grown into a great young man. You're not a cocky. We talk about this off the air. You're not a cocky young man. And when you're sitting in here in this den doing a keep it 100, you could be doing 1,000 things other than hanging out with me and E on a Monday night. But we love that you are here, and I'm glad that people's going to get to watch this because a lot of young men think, oh, I'm going D1, man. I'm big and bad. But you know what, man? You can go D1 tomorrow and get hurt, and guess what? It's over.
Back at home.
You're back at home. So we kind of talk about that off the air. Some of the guys that he's played with that has so much talent, and now they're at a JUCO or they're doing something else. So it's crazy. But folks, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll keep it here with B Rabbit. When we come back, he'll still be with us. This is all about him tonight, keeping it 100. Yep. Big E. Guess we're going to talk to one of our what?
One of our sponsors.
So we'll be right back. Hey, Zoe, I'm looking for some good insurance. Do you know anybody?
If you're tired of messing with the general, call Bobby Lewis. He can take care of your cars, house, boats, and even your pets. He has 2 locations, Del City, 4805 Southeast 44th Street. The number is 405-670-3665. And his new location is 1654 South Choctaw Road, Suite 107. Like a good neighbor, Bobby Lewis is there.
You tired of going out to your trash can, having to smell so bad? Well, no further. Call Spiffy Cans. He cleans, disinfects, sanitizes. 405-423-8824 or go to spiffycansok.com. Spiffy Cans, he's your man.
Spiffy Can, he's your man.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Linex Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. We're back here with B Rabbit. So, with your recruitment and everything like that, not playing DB and you're getting recruited to play DB, stuff like that, they're going to have a lot of film on that. So what were you doing in regards to your recruitment to put yourself out there? Like, were you?
I was only recruited to play DB at one school, that was Texas Tech. When I was coming to Utah State, I was going to be running back. And to go up there, I was expecting to play. So, me and Coach Smith really grew a connection. He's still at Texas Tech, so me and him are really cool. It's good having him around. But, yeah, I was sort of there. And then Coach Patterson, which is the defensive coach, he's my coach. He's my position coach right now too. He's supposed to come to my house on a Thursday, but then he ended up having to go back to Utah State. News here inside here they got fired and they're going to Texas Tech. So I just for a minute I wasn't connected with them for a little bit, and I was still going through recruiting. My top 2 schools was I was thinking Western Illinois. That's where I was going to end up going to play running back, because I want to play running back still. And then one night he just called me and he was like, "Hey man, how's it going?" He was like, "Man, like, how do you feel about playing defense?" And I was in my head, I was like, playing defense, like, I don't like those guys.
Those guys hit me.
I don't play defense. Then I get to thinking, I called right after he talked to me. I called Jay and he was talking to me. He was like, "Man, the way you're like, this might be a good opportunity for you. You never know." Like, so I just took off and ran with it. But at first it was just like, like Jay was talking to me. Like, at first I wasn't really worried about like how big of a squad I played, because I know guys that went to JUCO and FCS, small FCS schools that are in the league now. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen anywhere. So I was really starting to understand that and mature more about that. So at the time I was like, okay, I can go to Western Illinois and do the same thing I can do at a school like where I'm at now. I can do the same, produce the same way, get the same exposure. Then I was like, I'm just going to take this shot right here, bigger platform like this right here, try something new, and I'm getting, I think myself, I'm getting better. So I kind of like playing defense right now, safety / corner, a little bit of nickel,
Well, Robert, this subject we're going to talk about, man, me and you both, got to know this young man real well.
Yeah.
Bo Durham, played for us. He played baseball for me and, football. He's my little nose guard. He passed away a few years back,
Yeah.
and it's funny because how I found out about it was, through you on Twitter. And so, what was it like you getting that phone call,
Man, it was just a crazy night, we just got back from Arizona and we played OU. We had a bye week, so me and him already had like all these plans and stuff going on. Then like the weekend after that, he's gonna be in Norman, because he stayed like right down the road, so he's gonna come down to Norman, watch me play, against OU. Like, it's just crazy things that we dream about, and then like he's playing baseball, got a chance to go somewhere. I'm playing football, like, and then like that's what we always. A lot of guys with the Bombers, like I talked to a lot of guys. Gabe Deschamps talked to his sons like that too. So just like dreaming about that stuff, like when we were little, talking in the room and stuff, and then actually doing it is like real big. And then I get a phone call from Christy, and she's like, like, have you heard from Bo? And I was like, no. I talked to him like earlier today. He said after practice he's gonna play a game with me, and she was like, he has an answer. So like in my head, I'm like, it's just at night I'm like, wow. I was like, this might actually be the phone call. So then my roommates are in the living room, and I'm like, hey y'all, like, bro, I think like my friend just passed away. And they're all like, no, I don't think like that. And I was like, bro, I ain't never heard his mom, like, we snuck out before, and she like, and she got mad at us and cried, but like, I've never seen, and like Roman called me too, and he was like, man, I don't know. And I was like, I ain't never seen my man cry like that on the phone. So I was like, this might be it, stuff like that. And then, so I'm sitting there in my room freaking out. I'm like, I'm calling him, and his phone's always dead. So like, if he doesn't answer the phone, I'm like, okay, he'll see when he charges his phone that I called him, and like, or he'll use someone else's phone, or he'll text me on somebody else's Snapchat, like his phone's dead. So I mean, me being me, and like knowing like we were best friends, like we snuck out all the time together. So got fooled around, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, so he's not answering the phone, there's nothing wrong. And then like 30 minutes later, Roman calls me, and he was like, man, they found his car on the side of the road. He's passed away, man. And it was just like, I just went to shock, man. I just like hung up the phone, and I was sitting in my bathroom on my toilet, and I was just staring at the wall, and I was like, wow, like this is really it. Like my best friend had just passed away. So like at the time, like I was going through a real tough time. I got like the next day, I wanted to get a tattoo for a long time, but like my mom told me don't get one if it doesn't mean anything. So the next day, man, after I found out, I got a whole sleeve dedicated to him, and then it hurt. It took 3 hours, so I hope he's proud of it. But next day, 3 hours sitting there, and then I look at it every day. Every time I go out, before every game, I pray and I give a little kiss to it, point in the air for him. That's kind of the reason why I play this game so hard, man. Because you never know when it can be taken away from you. There's been a lot of tragedies. Have you seen on Twitter like guys protecting people, football players, and then just passed away like just like that. And then there's just this crazy year people that you never thought they would ever pass away, like Kobe just passed away. Like that still blows my mind. So you never know, like. That was one of my biggest supporters in high school. I'd score a touchdown looking in. He had paint all over him, in the costume. So yeah, it was a tough time, but I've learned to live with it. You know, his dad's like my second dad. Ty's like my little brother. You know, every time I log in on Xbox, he's sending me a friend request, play something. You know, so yeah, I have a real strong connection. I go over there, and me and Roman hang out all the time. I call him every week. You know, even his Uncle Boo, I hang out with. Durham's like my second family, so you know I hang out with them just as much as I hang out with my family.
And that's the thing about it, though, man. I mean, like I said, Roman, you know, is a great guy, man. I mean, I've got a chance to coach him for many years, and I've had Bo. You know, I had Bo before I had Rabbit. Bo played for me, and with the young guns and the little bombers. So it's just just to kind of see it happen. And I know you guys are so tight because Rabbit. I mean, Roman took Rabbit in like his second son, and Christy, and Madonna, and like I said, Paul. It hurts because like I said, I know he dedicates every time. Like he said, his tattoo. I don't know if you guys can see if he pulls his arm out. But just what he dedicated, just what he dedicated to that family and the Maples. I mean, they're all good to Rabbit, and that's what it's all about is the family though, because they lost one son, but they still got two other sons with Rabbit and Ty, and I know he's a big brother to Ty, man, and I'm just people always get caught up in sports, but like you said, you never know it's your last day, so it's really good to see how good they are to him and how good he is to their family, and I know the Maples do a lot for Rabbit too, so it's really good to see.
Big family. Yeah,
it's really good as we all get together and hang out. We don't do as much as we used to, but it's really good. But man, I just tell you that takes a little bit. But Rabbit, one of the things I want to ask you though, what is D1? Everybody talk about D2, D3, NI, but what is D1? Tell people that's trying to get D1 what it takes to become D1.
I feel like, honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. D1's filled with some of like the best athletes around the world, all over places, different backgrounds, rich, poor, medium, wealth. So I feel like you just gotta have the work ethic. You really gotta have the mindset like you're going to play with grown men. Like it's a grown man's league. You're going to play with some of the guys who are about to be drafted first rounders. Like it's crazy to me still. Like the people that my senior year I'm watching win the national championship. Like these people are like celebrities, and then the next year I'm playing against Jalen Hurts. It's just like. and then me thinking like, okay, he's not even a celebrity. Like he's the same dude as me. Like he's playing in the same conference as me. Like guys like that. It's just it's just crazy. Like we got guys on my team that I was watching, like TJ Vasher. I was watching him in high school, and then I'm sitting right next to a locker to him. It's just like, so I feel like, I don't think it's really too much different than a little bit more dedication, and then there's instead of just like it being like. You got like 6 D1 kids on the team. You got like everyone on the team with the same talent, but I feel like it's the same. I don't think the hits are harder. I feel like you just gotta really be dialed in. It's a more focused league, mental league now. It's not because the game's starting to change now with all the concussion protocols, stuff like that, making it safe for people to play longer. So I feel like it's more mental. So the more you know about the game of football, I feel like that will take you along with having the skill. You gotta have the skill to go D1. Not saying. You can be. Most coaches are taking guys they can trust now. Like that's how I say. Like guys they can trust. You don't got to be freaking the honey badger. You just got to have some skill and have the knowledge. And you can. Someone that has dedication can get there. Like Michael Jordan didn't make his freshman year basketball team. And now he's the greatest player of all time.
Yeah,
like, that just says it all.
And that's the thing about it. I think kids. If you got that dream, you see what this guy. Like say he was an offensive player. Switch over to a defensive player, and he's playing, Division I football at a Power 5 school, Texas Tech. He'll tell you his biggest offers was Utah State, Western, Illinois, and so he ended up, following his dream. But one of the things, we kind of talked off air is like your grades, though. What kind of, where you set at to graduate, though. That's the most important thing. I know that's what your mama wanted. I know that's what your brother wanted. I know that's what Coach Tony wanted.
My mom was me so bad. Actually, my senior year, I wanted to go on vacation to go to Florida, and my mom was like, I would kill you if you don't walk that stage. I'm like, but yeah, man, coming out of high school, I think I'm pretty smart, ACT's probably lied to you, but I think I'm pretty smart. But I had, 3.4, 3.3 in high school. Not the smartest, but I got the knowledge in there, And then college, I'm doing pretty good right now, but I feel like me personally, that takes you a long way. I plan on going into the coaching route. But then with my business major, I plan on using my major. But right now I'm set to go into like Division I coaching. Like right when I get out, I'll go GA route and then hop right in, like, stuff like that. Because the more that I've been at Tech playing football, I'm starting to understand, like, I know football, like both sides of the ball, what both teams want to do down the distance, hash, middle of the field, stuff like that. So I'm starting to pick it up a lot and understand it a lot by hanging out with my coaches. They explain the game so simply and make it like, if you walked in there, you'd be like, wow, I didn't know it was that simple. And it really is. You just got to actually know what's going on. Like, you'll know what a team wants on 3rd down and 7. Like, you just know stuff like that if you really go in there and focus. So, I really want to go into that field right after I graduate. So,
Well, that's pretty cool. 'Cause like you said, you just kind of said I can coach both sides of the ball. So, what's going to be your choice if you do go into coaching? What side of the ball are you going to coach?
Right now, I'm more defense, but if I got the opportunity to go coach, a receiver or a running back, I'd be just as proud.
Would you ever go back and coach at Carl Albert?
Personally, no, because I don't want to go high school. I want to go straight into keep 100. I want to go straight into.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
I want to go straight into it. I thought about like building a legacy, like most coaches do, like have an amazing high school legacy, move to a college, like that. But the goal is, as soon as I graduate, take the GA route, and then go straight. Well, obviously, I do want to take a chance playing. If I get that chance, I'm gonna take it. But right now, plan B, go into coaching, get a GA job, work my way up. Like I know a lot of guys that are GAs that they just graduated, so go that way, become a coach, I don't see myself being a head coach. I'm okay with being like a corners coach, safeties coach, receiver, running back coach. I don't see myself being a head coach right now, just stuff like that, so yeah.
That's cool, though. Like I said, you got your plan. Like I said, plan A is, I want to play in the NFL, but plan B, if I don't, I want to go to coaching. And there's great money in coaching. And like I said, you get on a good staff and, going out to recruiting. I think recruiting would be fun. I think going into a living room and trying to get that man to convince from going to OU or OSU to come to Tech or whatever school you're at, I think that'd be good. It's like since being a car salesman right there, baby, selling him to get him to come to your school. I think you'd be a great coach. But said, good thing about you, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, so that makes it real good. What do you think? You think, your mighty Titans has won another state championship. Is it time for them to move up to 6A small? Keep it 100, because I want to hear this.
Okay, me personally, I don't think so. I think right now, I feel like, not trying to be like put down them because they've obviously won 2 without me, but I think that after I graduated, it wasn't the same no more. I feel like high school football all around is not the same no more. Teams are. Since my sophomore year, I know even when I was in high school, teams are starting to get a lot smaller, like that. There's instead of being a bunch of guys, probably like 1 or 2 guys on some of these teams around here most now. So, I feel like going to 6A is not the move right now. I feel like right now we're pretty dominant where we're at. So
you saw what Bigsby did to him.
I know, but yeah, that's a different team. That is that's a very good Oklahoma team right now.
But you look what Tata did to Bigsby. Both games they played him to what? A 3-point game and a 10-point game.
Yeah,
so you think?
I understand. Choctaw has proven a little bit. They've the past 2 years, actually past 3, because my senior year they weren't bad. They're starting to build that program up to where they want it to be. And there's a lot of schools like I heard PC North starting to do a little better. There's a lot of schools at Bixby though. I think hands down best team in Oklahoma this year.
No, Bixby is a different.
They got a lot of weapons, and that Preston kid, he's doing pretty good. They got a lot of weapons on their team, and it's kind of like I feel like it's a mindset playing team like that. They got all these guys. You got game plan. You got to respect them all, game plan them all, and then you can only game plan so much.
That's it. You're exactly right. I think when Tata came out and played them, and they played them in that first game, made it a 10-point game. Probably could easily won that game. I think a couple calls didn't go their way. Then, I watched when Carl Albert played, Bigsby, and the next week, I thought it was kind of a fluke. I was like, man, Bigsby wasn't up for Tata, that's why it was a 10-point game, blah, blah, blah. But then, I kind of watched Bigsby and Carl Albert play, and there's one run that Buddy comes down the sideline, man, and it's, you know, it's on the side of Carl Albert's side, and I'm sitting there with a couple of guys, man, and some high school, some college guys, and he comes running, dude, and he's full speed, and he gets tackled on the 2. And then, dude, it felt like a train. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm probably one of the, I mean, you know, I look at this kid, and this kid's just a junior. You know, I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, holy cow. But, you know, just to kind of see what, you know, what they did to him, I mean, and he had some good runs, but, man, they beat him 56-13. So then, you know, next week, you know, Choctaw's playing them, you're like, man, they're going to blow Choctaw away. You know, and that's what I'm thinking because, I mean, what you just did to a powerhouse of Carl Albert.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just think that Choctaw had nothing to lose. Then you watch him. I mean, that Presley kid, man, and it's so funny because, you know, he's getting recruited as a running back. And you look at your frame, and you're way bigger than that kid. But I'm thinking you're right about, you know, people get caught up in their heads like, oh, man, this is Bigsby, get scared. Kind of like with Carl Albert, you know, 5'18", everybody knows, oh, that's Carl Albert. They get scared of him. You know, I think that you intimidate teams so much, they're scared of you. You know, a guy that when Gabe used to work out, a guy named Rico Jordan, you know, he would say kids, you know, get in a bracket and they see, oh my God, that kid's in my, you know, he's in my weight this week.
Yeah.
So people get scared of it. So I think that's what, you know, Bigsby does to a lot of 6'8" teams and what Carl Albert does to a lot of, you know, 5'8" teams.
I feel like it has to do with confidence though. Like when you're in a good program and you're winning, like the coaches convince their kid like no team can beat you. So like, I mean, that confidence going in. And then you come in like even when good teams play good teams, you know, like for instance Bedlam, you never know what the outcome of the game is. It might be crazy, it might go down to the end of the wire, like you never know what's gonna happen. So I feel like that's how it is some games. Like two teams that you know, like, okay, the best team in 6A, best team in 5A come down, like, okay, like that's gonna be a great matchup. You just never know what's gonna happen in that game. Yeah. It can easily go sideways. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Well, Big E, man, I tell you, man, you know, it's really cool to have, you know, B Rabbit on the show, keeping it 100.
Yeah,
man.
first college kid on here, you know.
Yeah.
So
you know, I know it's always about high school. Tonight, we're going a different route, but I tell you, you know, it's good to sit back and just, you know, chop it up. You know, our 30 for 30 with Rabbit, you know, it's kind of just chopping up, you know, seeing what it's like because I tell you, man, it takes a lot of hard work to get where he's at, and you know, it's a daily grind. It's not like it happened overnight. It's not like, hey, you know, he had a bunch of schools knocking on his door. You know, he took a path of, hey, I'm gonna go play D1 on the other side of the ball when I'm used to playing on the offensive side of the ball, and I mean, it's kind of worked out. So, what's some of the goals you got set, you know, for your next couple of years, you know, before you get out of school that you have set for yourself?
You know, this year, you know, I got on the field a lot towards the end of the year. You know, proved myself, stepped up, matured a lot because I was like, kind of like. I'm a very good people person, so like I have that into me, so I just shut that off when I walked in the facility and just like straight beast mode. So I got high expectations for myself next year. I plan on getting like some Big 12 awards next year. I'll at least like watch list Jim Thorpe. You know,
that's what I'm talking about.
I got big goals for myself, so you know I'm working hard over this little Christmas break, you know, so I can get back and be the best I can for my guys down there.
That's good. So you haven't got a chance to play in the bowl game yet, though, right?
No, but when we do, it's ring season.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm used to it, so like, I'm a winner, man. I know how to, not being cocky, but I mean, I grew up in a winter program, middle school, little league, middle school, high school. You know, I've just always been a winner. You know, been in a winning program, so the confidence that I have for myself is very high because I know what I can do in moments of in the heat of the moment, so stuff like that. I feel like I can do the job.
That's cool though, man. You got big goals for yourself, man. And I mean, like you said, I want to be on the watch list. You know, like I said, now you kind of got the pattern down of being a DB. Now you know what to do to take to become the DB. Before we end this show, though, Rabbit, I got to ask you the $1 million question, though. Who was your best coach all the way through Little League, high school, college? Who's the man?
Okay. He wants me to say Tony. Let me tell you about Tony. Let me tell you, at the end of every practice, on the easiest practice days, we used to take our pads off, and the coaches would bet on who can win goalpost to goalpost. They used to all sit over there and bet. You know, I get there, Gabe's the fastest guy on the team. I got a little speed on me. We got a few guys, so after practice, we line up, we're down there. They got us down there talking trash and stuff to each other, like, I'm about to win, he's about to get some money, like, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Tony started me, you know, Tony did start, you know, the rapper there. I got the name from Tracy though, but I went to, Tracy moved me over to the Bomber team, and after that, that's when I really just knew that like football was like my sport. You know, I played basketball and ran track, but like, I knew that football was gonna be the way I get out and, you know, make my mom's dreams come true, you know.
And I tell you though, it was fun coaching you guys, man. I mean, do I look back and I miss it? Some days I do, but I tell you right now, I'm having probably more fun doing this show, right? Because I feel like now I can get back to the guys and talk to them. You, JD, Byers, Jacoby's up in, North Texas. I look at a lot of the kids I've coached and touched a little bit. Granted, and our staff is pretty good, from my two brothers, Jonah and Jerry, to Roman, to DJ, to Brian, to Albert, Albert Brown. I mean, just we ran it like a college program. I mean, we really did. It was a machine, It wasn't
like we were the greatest little league team in the nation. We
had Dion come in on his golf cart, man, and we had him on his toes the time we played him in the rain. Yeah. We would have beat him. We come out with a 5-receiver set, Rabbit could, he could catch and kind of move him out. I mean, we did it. We ran the Wildcats. Yeah. We did stuff before college teams did it, though, man. We had the cards up, calling in plays, though. We had headsets. But I tell you, that was fun about it, though, man. That's the thing to see this young man where he's at today. I'm so tickled to have him sitting here with me because, man, I watched this young man work his butt off, man. I mean, get hurt his senior year, come back, finish strong and win a state championship that year. So it's just good to see that, hey, he could have said, folded, man, I'm done. But, he knew he had to come back and finish strong to go get his scholarship and do the things he's done. And, like I said, coming from a great family, his mom, his brother, his sister. How's your sister doing? She's
doing pretty good, man. I was just with her earlier, man. It's my home dog right there. I hang out with her all the time.
And, I mean, that's what it's all about, though, is family, though, man. Sports goes for so long, but I tell you, it comes to the end, but then you got to become, a regular human being, and that's the thing about keeping it 100. We're going to bring you the best. We're going to put the best kids out there. We're going to put kids that's not getting recruited out there. We like stories like Rabbit, because, people might think, oh, man, but this guy had to work hard to where he's at. It didn't come overnight. It didn't come yesterday. He worked his butt off to get there. So that's what that's what it's all about, man. And we hope we can touch other young men that's doing the same thing,
right?
And you can look at this show and say, man, I thought Rabbit just walked into Texas Tech. No, he had some help to get there.
It took a lot of hard work. Yeah. There was sometimes I couldn't even make it to basketball games because I was out of town, going on visits, or there was a coach come in when we got an early basketball game. When I couldn't go to the game until after halftime, so it was a scary process. I found out that Utah State put my scholarship at. We were in Bartersville at their tournament, and we're about to go out and play a game, and someone's blowing my phone up. I'm like, okay, it's the new coach at Utah State, and he calls me. He was like, hey man, we just can't rely on the freshmen come in, take care of the job. So they end up getting 2 JUCO guys come in. I mean, at the time I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was like, man, is football really it? Like, dude, is this what I want to do? So like that basketball was fun to me. So I was like, maybe basketball is my sport, even if I don't go big, just go play basketball, have fun in college. But, I just sat down with my mom and I was like, hey, I'm trying to go big. So and then Coach Patterson ended up calling me and gave me a great opportunity. So
that's how the Lord works, man. One door shuts, another one what?
That's what it is. Another one opens.
That's it, man. I mean, everything happens for a reason, brother. I mean, that's it.
I'm blessed to be where I'm at.
Yes, you are blessed. Hey, anything before we close this out?
Nothing from me. Just the usual. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Follow Tony at Highkeeping. Follow myself at Ethan_Z_Davis. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you know whenever another video is out. And anything you want to close with, Dadrion? Anybody or anything you want to say to the people?
Man, I had a blast here, man. I love my guy Tony, man. Me and Ethan got the chance to grow up in. I met him in middle school over on Bozo Street. That's how I met him.
He's a good.
That's it. That's it.
Man, I'm blessed to be here. Being in this room reminds me of my old little Bomber days like that. And we come on the show, keep it 100, baby.
Yeah.
Let them know your Twitter, Robert, because like I said, the one thing they want to follow you is that you're gonna be the top defensive back next year. You're gonna win one of those Jim Throw awards. So that's what it's all about, baby. So tell them what your Twitter is.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. Dadrion Taylor. Dadrion T_Dadrion Taylor on Instagram. You really just my name. You keep it simple. Keep it 100.
Keep it 100. Folks, I thank you for joining another great episode of Keep It 100, man. You got a chance to sit here with Dadrion Taylor, known as B Rabbit. Guys done amazing, great things, man. Comes from a great family, a great young man. I'm just telling you right here, it's good to have a college student that's sitting here that got good grade. You don't have to worry about him, smoking weed, drinking, and none of that stuff. We keep it 100. His mom knows that, hey, he's 5 hours away, but he's well taken care of because he got his path to do the right things. It's not all about, hey, I love it. He's not talking about I'm going to the NFL. He's talking about when I get my degree, I got plan A, plan B. And that's what a lot of people need to think about. It's not about just the NFL. It's about, hey, get that education. He's on the right path to do that. So I thank everybody for watching. Keep it 100. And we out.
Yeah.
See you.
next week.
Peace. That's it.
I love it.
Thank you. Let's go eat some pizza now.